UFC 302 is this Saturday in Newark, New Jersey. I'm Minty Bets here to recap the official weigh-ins with the We Want Picks post-weigh-in show. And it feels like it's been a while since a fight weekend, so I am pumped for this card. Now, we've only got 12 fights on the card, which does seem a bit short, and I do wish there were a couple more, but we will take what we can get. Before we get started, make sure you become a premium member on WeWantPicks.com to unlock all of Angelo and Jacob's picks for the weekend. Angelo's and Jacob's picks for the weekend. There are tools on the site you can utilize as well to help make your bets, so go check it out and become a premium member today. I love pay-per-view events because the fighters usually hop on and off the scale fairly quickly, whereas, I don't know why, but for Apex events, the fighters take their sweet dear time, and a lady does not like to wait, and I did not have to wait that long at all today. All right, let's get started with the main event, which is a lightweight title bout between Islam Makhachev and Dustin Poirier. Dustin was the first fighter to step onto the scale, and he always has such an interesting look at the weigh-ins. He always does the, I don't know what is, but I always think he has a tough time cutting. But he looks nice and cut, and he did just fight in March against BSD, so the quick turnaround time is kind of a concern with him, and, him up there in age and talking about retirement, and he's been through so much wear and tear over the years, but he successfully weighed 155 pounds. Also, this is the biggest underdog he's ever been in his career, I believe. On the flip side, Islam Makhachev is the heaviest favorite he's been in his career and the biggest favorite on the card as well. He is on a 13-fight win streak, which is the longest active streak in the lightweight division. This will be his third time defending the belt, and there are pictures swirling around the internet regarding what people speculate to be a staph infection on his leg.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
No confirming or denying on his part, but I can imagine in Jersey especially, they will yap about it forever. He did look a little more drained than usual at weigh-ins, but he made weight at 155 pounds as well. In the co-main event, we've got polar opposite fighters here. A man that everyone loves to hate, Sean Strickland, versus a man that everyone just loves to watch do things, Paulo Costa. Sean was the second fighter to be weighed. He was a little chatty on the scale. Don't know what he was saying, but I don't doubt he was still talking smack or complaining about something. He came in at 185, and Mr. Secret Juice Paulo Costa was the final fighter to be weighed. Costa has been so active this year, and I believe this is the first time he's fought twice in a year since 2017. He is 1-3 in his last 4, but that was against high-level opposition. And the MMA community online has done what they usually do and examined his recent photos from head to toe and discovered what looks like a staph infection on his foot, and suddenly everyone on the internet is a doctor. I cannot stand when I just post anything UFC related this week, and not even picks related, and someone comments, well, Islam and Paulo have staph infections, so Dustin and Sean have got this in the bag. Is that your handicap for the fight? Something that's not only unconfirmed, but something that you're not an expert on? And me mentioning it doesn't make it any better, but I had to address it. He came in at 185, and that fight is good to go. Moving on to another middleweight bout between Kevin Holland and Michal Oleksiejczuk. I love Kevin Holland. He seems so funny, and he seems like just such a nice guy. But he is coming off of back-to-back losses. He just fought in March. He's coming in on short notice, and he's moving up in weight. Lots going on for him, but I like this move up, and I think it'll benefit him greatly. The man is a $3 favorite, though, and I don't know if I really justify that price, but I get it. He weighed 185, and his opponent, Michal Oleksiejczuk, also weighed 185 pounds. On to the only heavyweight fight on the card, Jailton Almeida and Alexander Romanov. Everyone knows Romanov to be on the heavier side of heavyweights, and it looked to be true. My man hopped on the scale very close to the heavyweight limit at 265 pounds, while Jailton Almeida weighed only 241 pounds and looked real good. I would be shooketh if he did not win this one with just how much better shape he was in. Jailton's coming off his first UFC loss after having won 6 straight fights prior to that. Next up, a welterweight matchup between Randy Brown and Elizeu Zaleski. Randy Brown looks nice and bulky for his size. A good bulky, by the way. He came in at 170, as well as Elizeu Zaleski. And oh my god, what a cool name. I've never heard so many Z's in one name before. Next up, Cesar Almeida and Roman Kopylov. This line actually opened favoring Kopylov, but has since flipped. And now Cesar is the slight favorite. I am on the Kopylov side, so good for me. Almeida was incredibly pumped. He made weight, screaming on and off the scale across the stage. You can even hear him just cheering for himself in the background. We love a good self-cheerleader, right? Both him and Kopylov made weight at 185 pounds. And Kopylov looked great, by the way. I feel better about him even more so after the weigh-ins. On to the lightweights, Grant Dawson and Joe Selecki. A little personal, but Grant Dawson looks just like an ex of mine. My least favorite past boyfriend, by the way. Really quick, again, this ex, the one that looks like Grant Dawson, had the nerve to email me, because they blocked him on my phone. A few years ago, he emailed me after seeing me on UFC and was like, hey, saw you doing things for UFC. Not sure what it is, because he knows nothing about gambling or anything fun, but hope you're doing well and I'm so happy for you. So every time I see Grant Dawson, not only am I traumatized from betting on him to win by sub against Bobby Green, but I get filled with so much rage because he looks so much like the guy I used to date. Anyway, Grant looks lean, good to go. Both him and Joe Selecki made perfect weight at 155. Next up, Jake Matthews and Phil Rowe. Rowe is coming off a loss after having won 3 straight fights prior. One of the larger men in this weight class coming in at 171, and Jake Matthews weighed 170 pounds. Another welterweight bout between Alex Morono and Nico Price. These two have fought against each other way back in 2017. Alex Morono came in at 170, while the father of 6 children, Nico Price, also came in at 170. I don't know how that man gets anything done with 6 children. Obviously because of mom. He's 2-5 with 1 no contest in his last 8. His last loss was against Robbie Lawler. 3 more fights, my friends. Bassil, Hafez, and Mickey Gall. I haven't heard that name in years, and it has been years. Mickey Gall last fought in 2022. He's making his return this Saturday and actually looks really good. He's 1-3 his last 4, though his last defeat coming to Mike Malott. Yeah, he's also another traumatizing, like, core memory fighter that I have also. Mickey made weight at 170. Bassil Hafez only has 1 UFC fight under his belt that resulted in a loss to JDM, so okay, no complaints there. He also made weight at 170. This is our only women's fight on the card, and it's a women's bantamweight. We've got Ailin Perez and Joselyne Edwards. DC had many nice things to say about Perez. Her makeup looks amazing as well this morning. She looks so good. She was in good spirits, had a really fun mood, and came in at 135. Edwards, though, was a little slow to step onto the scale and came in at 137 the first time, which is 1 pound over the bantamweight limit. After stripping down, she made weight at 136. And last but not least, the first fight to open up UFC 302, Andre Lima and Mitch Raposo. Raposo was on the Ultimate Fighter and was set to make his Contender Series debut this summer, but got called up on short notice to make this fight happen. He is also Jacob's Lock of the Week. He made weight perfectly at 125. Andre Lima, though, was one of the last fighters to step onto the scale, and he came in visibly looking like me walking up the stairs, panting. That's how he looked. He came in 4 pounds overweight at 130 pounds. The fight is still on, but it really sucks that fighters miss weight like that by that much. The weight cutting part is part of the fight. It's about discipline and professionalism, and it's also respect to your opponent, that you're serious about fighting in this weight class, and he missed by a lot. So I'm also on the Mitch side here, so I'm rooting for Mitch here. And that wraps it up for the We Want Picks post-weigh-in show. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I've got picks this week in 2 places. Of course, UFC Fight Pass's betting show On the Line. That's where you can find all of my bets for all pay-per-view events. I've been doing it for 2 years now, so don't make it surprising that it's on UFC Fight Pass, okay? This week I was also a guest on Katie Mox's podcast, Minty Bets, giving out a few of my picks. You guys can watch that on ESPN Bet's YouTube channel for free. Please subscribe to this channel and come back next week for the UFC Louisville post-weigh-in show between Jared Cannonier and Nasruddin Imavov.